Hey poker peeps, thank you for tuning in to this leak busting video. Today, we're going to use Leak Buster 2 and we're going to dive into our PokerTracker 4 database to check out the leak of bad river calls. Let's do it. So on the screen in front of you is Leak Buster 2 Professional Edition. Now, this updated version came out recently, and I really like what it does. Leak Buster 2 goes through your PokerTracker 4 or Hold'em Manager database with over 50 custom filters in order to find your leaks. On average, it's going to find somewhere between 10 and 25 leaks when you run your database through it, when you just hit this run complete analysis. But for this particular player, it has found 79 potential leaks. 3 critical, 7 very important, 8 important, 10 somewhat, and 51 spots that need attention. On the screen right now, you can see the top 3 critical leaks for this particular player. Now, this specific player, I have 8,541 hands on them, and I just chose them randomly to see what their leaks are. And I'm going to keep their name anonymous so that just to protect the innocent, I guess. But when we dive through PokerTracker 4, we're going to be filtering and looking at my own hands played. Now, one of the things that I really like about Leak Buster is that it gives you some pretty simple advice right here on the Advice tab. This is exactly what you need to plug the leak, but it doesn't give you all the information. You can think of this like bullet points, the most necessary stuff. They do have videos and occasional articles with more information to help you plug all these leaks, and I'll show you this stuff in just a little bit. Now, you can get a free trial or purchase Leak Buster 2 by going to smartpokerstudy.com/leakbuster2. By using this link, you help to support the channel and you keep me keeping on. The link is also in the description down below this. Now, like I said before, 8,541 sample hands on an opponent. And I think because it's a rather small sample, it says it's 9% accuracy. The more hands you put through this, so your own database of 50, 100, 200,000 hands, it's going to be a bit more accurate with the leaks that it finds here. So let's work on the second leak today of poor river calling. If either the first two, that 4-bet range or the versus 3-bet call percentage sounds good to you, go ahead and click one of the 2 links that pops up right now to be taken to those videos. Alrighty, let's talk about river call efficiency. This one in particular is on the button, a little bit of a leak right here. Now the advice is currently your river call efficiency is too low from the button. This is an indication that you are missing some opportunities to bluff when you are in position. Or you may also be bluffing too much earlier in the hand and getting to showdown when you should have not been so aggressive and checked through on a street or folded to your opponent's bets. Some really good advice right there. Now, if we take a look at this video, I'll pause it as soon as it pops up. Well, I don't know when the name will pop up. I don't know which coach made this video. Don't want to waste your time in just playing it. But it is a 30-minute video. There is going to be plenty of strategy in this one to help you plug the leak of poor river calling. So this stuff is good enough. There's the graph right here. I'm not really sure what all this stuff means. There's some different hands, which, well, I guess, you made the river a bet and a call, and a lot of losing hands. And also, maybe a couple winning hands are thrown in as well. Now, you can go through, double-click this, and review these hands. But this really isn't good enough. What you use Leak Buster for is to learn strategies, or learn the leak first off, learn some strategies to plug the leak, and then you go into your PokerTracker 4 database in order to find more opportunities, more instances for you to dive into and learn from your mistakes. So let's get to the PokerTracker 4 database. And here it is. So this is my own database from January 1st of 2018 and beyond, of course. Now, this leak of making poor river calls, they mentioned something that you may have never heard of, a statistic called river call efficiency. If you want to learn about any statistic, you go to the configure menu, stats, and then when the statistics list pops up, you can go through and just scroll and try to find it alphabetically. I always just type in 1 or 2 keywords from the statistic. Now, this one's called river call efficiency. So when you type in river, scroll down, everything's alphabetical. You see river call efficiency. Click on it. ratio of the total amount won on the river to the total amount called on the river. Money that is taken out of the pot as rake is not counted as money won. And then there's the formula right there. Any statistic, if you want a little bit more insight into it, this is the first place to go before you do any kind of Google searching to learn more from other people. Now, that is that one stat. Now, if we take a look at my own database, my call river efficiency, 1.4, a low of 1.4 in the MP to a high of 2.1 in the EP right here, which basically means because it's a ratio of the amount won to the amount called, at 2.17, I guess I'm winning twice the amount of money that I am actually calling calling on the river. So that's a good sign right here. Altogether, I am positive. But just imagine I had this leak. How would you go about, or how would I go about and start trying to find situations where I can learn from the plays I made? Well, first off, let's run a little filter right here. Let's look for any call on the river and see what my total win rate is when I'm calling rivers. You can see I have this already saved as a quick filter. Now, altogether, it's negative. I'm actually losing when I am calling. So maybe that river call efficiency, maybe I have it kind of backwards on my numbers right here, 1.73. Maybe this actually is the amount called divided by the amount won. So maybe if I've called $100, I've won $55. You know, it may be something along those lines. I'm not exactly sure. But suffice it to say, you know, calling on the river, I am losing some money. So this is probably a pretty good opportunity to, look at some hands. What we can do is we can sort this by the amount lost. So, click on the header right here. You see all the winning hands. Click it again. Bam, it goes from the biggest losing down to the winningest hand at the bottom. So we can go through and just start looking at some of these hands right here by position and checking out, hey, where we might be winning or losing a ton of money or not. You can also sort it by action. Now, a lot of these were check calling on the river, winning some, losing some other hands right here. You could also be doing some, those check calls, just calling on the river, and then bet calling on the river right there. So there's a lot of different ways to be calling on those rivers. So you can go through and start reviewing hands, trying to find your mistakes. But I have a slightly different filter that I want to run. I know that for myself, when I'm calling on the river, often with top pair, I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I just can't help it. I'm hoping they're bluffing with something less than top pair, and so that I call and I make a bad choice quite often doing that. So I want to add something to this filter right here. Let's add hand value, made hands. Let's say I have a top pair hand, made a one pair on any street, and let's say it's a top pair. Actually, we didn't need that. Let's ungroup this to separate those two filters. Forget the one pair on any street aspect. So we made a river call where we had on any street, top pair on any street. But let's do one more filter to it. Hand details. Let's look at hands where we just straight up lost. So we're avoiding all the winning hands right here. Called the river, top pair, lost the hand. Holy cow, 87 instances since 2018, January 1st, 2018, minus 2,400 big blinds per 100 hands. This means basically each time I make this call in this situation, I'm losing 24 big blinds total. Kind of an ugly situation, that is for sure. But let's see here. In the big blind, let's take a look by hole cards. Let's see kind of what we're calling here. Take a look at the board and stuff. We could sort it by action as well. Now, there was one hand that I wanted to look at here. Oh, there it is. Tagged hand. Let's pop this bad boy open. Now, if I really wanted to spend my time and learn from this hand, it would be best if I did a full-on hand reading exercise utilizing Flopzilla. Now, as you probably know, when you're hand reading, you assign a pre-flop range with Flopzilla and then narrow that range through the streets. I'm not going to take the time to do that right now, but if you want to see how I do hand reading utilizing Flopzilla and hands from my database, you can take a look for my 66 days of hand reading videos, a YouTube playlist on YouTube, or actually I'll put a link right here for you to check out as well. So let's see here. Let's replay this hand. Open raise. fold, fold, and then we end up calling with the Jack-8 suited. Not so much a fan of that. Jack-8 suited is a hand that I probably only open raise from the button, maybe from the cutoff. Calling with it just gives you no fold equity whatsoever. If you're never going to open raise in the big blind with this hand, or not open raise over limpers per se, why call with it right here? Don't like the call. But I flop the top pair, check. He bets, half pot about, and then I decide to call. Okay, half pot bet. The 10 doesn't help me at all, gives me a slight gut shot draw, but it really doesn't help. And now he bumps it up to 3/4 pot. Oh, I don't like it, but I call with my second pair and my gut shot. Now I don't hit anything whatsoever. It's not a top pair. I flopped it, or it was a flop pair. It was a top pair on the flop, but now I even less than top pair, and then he bets almost full pot right there. What am I doing making this call? I hate the fact that I call. I guarantee he has a better hand than me. It's at a minimum pair of 10s. It could even be, I don't know. It could even be 10-8 two pair kind of a hand. Oh, 6-5. He rivered his straight on me. And of course it's obvious. On the turn, he increases bet size in order to try to get me to fold. He had position, and he hit it on the river, so he made an even bigger bet. This was a terrible call. I should have folded. I didn't see it. I didn't even see it coming, like Jim Carrey said in Dumb and Dumber, Terrible situation. But yeah, so this is how you're going to go through your database and learn from your mistaken river calls by doing this kind of filter right here. I want to end this video with a little bit of take action guidance. Using LeakBuster 2 and reviewing hands like we just did, that is not enough. You need to take the strategies you learn and any mistakes that you find during your hand history reviews, and then you need to hit the felt. Practice the strategies and practice not repeating any of those mistakes. Make sure as you play, you tag important or confusing hands for later review. And then, of course, off the felt, hit the book some more for some more studying and some more reviews. Rinse and repeat until you plug your leak. All of this is critical because action is the greatest teacher. And it's the only way you're going to plug your leaks. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for watching the video. Please like the video down below, subscribe, and ding that bell for notifications on future videos. And once again, take action and get to leak plugging.